All right, Reggie, I wanted to see if you had heard that KPD was having some problems or some issues in court. Have you heard anything about what's going on with him?
Yeah. But before I get into Keefe D, I want to just thank all of you guys in the comment sections that zelled y'all boy a few bucks, and but more importantly, all of y'all that wished me a happy birthday and sent warm wishes towards me yesterday. I appreciate y'all sending those shout outs and those happy birthday Reggies. Really make my day, and I really appreciate it. So thanks in advance. Well, what's going on, y'all, is I don't know if y'all noticed, nobody was really in the audience. That's Keefe D family. Um, and I don't know if y'all noticed, nobody was there, not even his son. And there's something going on, y'all. When niggas start making money, I guess. Uh, and I guess somebody must have came through for some money on those documentaries. One of those production companies, because now he's saying he has a $112,000, which is what it takes and some property to bail out for the $750,000. That's what he's saying. I still believe that was just a tactic that niggas like to play. But I did hear that he's very disappointed with his family right now, which we know Paula ain't gave a shit about him for a while. She was she was fighting, putting up the house when he first got arrested. That's all Whack 100 wanted her to do and needed her to do. And but she was fighting that from the jump. But he's now trying to be like Suge Knight. Y'all remember when Suge Knight, he kept firing all his attorneys? Man, y'all don't even know. Suge Knight fired his attorney and replaced my boy, Richard Johnson, shit, a day or two before his court hearing. Richard Johnson is the one that actually went in there and made the deal for shit to get those 28 years, because they were trying to give him 40 years. That was the lowest that they were talking about doing it. He got it down to the 20, but then they did something to get that 8 years added back up to make it 28 years. Saying all that to say, and I seen this before with guys. They get nervous, they get scared when it starts to get time to, you know, go to trial.
Reggie, I hate to interrupt you, but for all of our listeners out there that may be small business owners, I think this might be a good thing for them. There's 36 million small businesses across the US, and more than 70% of them need additional funding at least once a year. Traditional banks, we know the headache they can be, the paperwork, the long waiting, the credit decisions, all that stuff. And usually it's months until you find out whether you are or aren't approved. But that's where the sponsor of today's video comes in. If your business makes at least 25K a month, Delta Capital will offer you business funding with an application that takes under 5 minutes. There's zero impact to your personal credit, and approvals happen in minutes and not months. So do yourself a favor. If you're a small business owner and you're looking for funding to maybe reinvest into the company, hire new people, upgrade your equipment, whatever the case may be, click the link in the description or in the comment pinned and see if you qualify for same-day business funding of up to $500,000 from Delta Capital. Reggie, back to you.
What word is word is Keefe D is trying to fire his attorney, this one, and replace him. Now it could be because he, got some money now, and then he want to hire a better attorney, possibly. But I truly, truly just believe it's just a tactic to prolong the trial. Maybe because Keefe want to keep blaming everything on Reggie Wright, and this attorney is not going for it. Who knows? Who knows? But it's going to be interesting to see what happens. But all of y'all picked up on that, heard that little inside information. But y'all know what? Did y'all hear this hearing? Did y'all hear this exchange between the prosecution and the judge? It's usually between the defense attorney and the judge. But this time, don't it seem like the judge is kind of coming down on the prosecution?
Mr. Sam, after the course of the trial, is going to tell the jurors in the box, he's going to say, hey, look, 2009 story isn't true. It's not true. It was a lie. When he told it on the BET Chronicles, that was a lie. When he wrote it in the book, that was a lie. He is going to celebrate the notion that Mr. Davis broke the contract in 2008, and equity says we can't say anything about it?
As a point, if the federal government is saying you will never be prosecuted for this, so whatever you tell us remains with us and won't be used in the future. Like literally, that's what is said to him. Isn't that extinguishing his rights to remain silent?
I think there is a fundamental fairness problem here. And so the court can still make that ruling.
And that's going to be interesting if the judge rules that, to me, how it sound like she's about to rule that Keefe was able to give those statements because of the immunity agreement. Now, she used the word immunity. And I'm surprised the DA didn't jump up and down and say, there ain't no immunity agreement. But I know why the DA didn't jump up and down and say it was an immunity agreement, because they're trying to say, we have no part of that agreement. That's something with the U.S. Attorney and LAPD. The state of Nevada and the county of Clark ain't had no type of immunity or Queen for the Day or proper agreement with Keefe. And I really believe that's why they didn't argue it. But I was really shocked to hear her use the term immunity agreement. And so that's interesting. If she going to rule that he was able to continue to the statements that he gave to talk about. But I'm sure the DAs will now realize that, hey, yeah, you can talk and make all of those statements under immunity agreement. But Keefe didn't have an immunity agreement. He had a proffer agreement. So the next couple of days going to be interesting, y'all. Going to be real interesting just to see if this judge finally ruled in Keefe in their favor and maybe omit something, either the videos or the book, Greg Kading's proffer session. But it'll be hard for her to do that because I don't think she'll be able to omit Greg Kading proffer session and then Las Vegas proffer session that they had later on 2 years down the line. But we'll see. We'll see, y'all. And this case is going to be interesting. It's going to be very interesting. That video that y'all heard halfway during this segment, hey, y'all, I'm telling y'all, go in the comment sections for the last few months, and there's a program that possibly fits yours. So go and try to fill it out. We got one for people that was data was breached under Under Armour. One for people that have issues with YouTube that can receive up to $1,000. And then the one that y'all heard, if you have a business, you need to apply for it and see if you can get some funding for your business. Bomb First, once again, thank you for the birthday shout outs. And we'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace.